Hello guys, today we are going to talk about data analyst, how we can do the data analysis by using the Python language. So here I assume that you must know the basics about the Python language, and here I'm talking about something about the data set on which we are going to do the cleaning of the data, and we are going to observe the data, how we are going to do the cleaning and observing, because you know that in the data set there are different type of demands from the client side. So some of them are looking for the sales, and some of them are looking to find something important from the data. So we need to grab those things from the data. Like some of them are looking for the raw data and they want to make that raw data useful for them. So sometimes they give the raw data to you and they ask you to find something related to their work important for them. So most of the jobs for the data analysts are like those things in which they are taking the data from different angles, from different sources, and they are going to analyze on it. So what exactly we are doing today? We are going to see how the data sets look like, and what we can do, the functions in the Python, and how we can analyze the data set. So here I have already mentioned here some of the codes, so there will be no delays and there will be no such take time for the coding and this. So I am assuming that you know the basics about the Python, and here I'm going to describe how you can be able to do the data analyst, and it will be like more to teach you how exactly it is going to happen. So here we are going to import some of the libraries like the pandas as PD, import matplotlib.pyplot as plt for the graphics, and import numpy as np for the numerical functions, and import seaborn as sns. So here with this we are going to analyze the data, and we are going to put the data in the graphical structure, so everyone can understand how exactly it is look like. So come on, let's start. So here I am going to take the Excel file. Dataset is the variable name I'm taking, and pd.read underscore Excel, and here I'm taking the US superstore underscore data dot xlsx. Okay, so here after taking the variable data sets, and I'm going to take the head and three of the lines I would like to see. So now you can see 1, 2, and 3. I can have the rows, and here you can see the row ID, order date, ship mode, and all are the columns here listed below, like city, region, product ID, category, subcategory, product name, sales, quantity, discount, and profit. All the things are mentioned here. So here I would like to see what exactly the shape it's look like, how many is the rows and how many is the columns. So I will see dataset dot shape, and here I have the rows and the columns mentioned in it. So I would like to have the column. I would like to see how many columns are there total. So I will put display in the brackets data set, and I would like to see the two columns. So here I'm mentioning two and dot t. Look, we have this. Okay, so now we would like to see how many of the data sets in the rows and columns having the null values. So I'm mentioning here dataset dot is null in the bracket and dot sum in the bracket. So this function describe us the null value, what exactly it is. So here we can see there is no null value in it, and the data type showing is integer 64. So now we can see what we can have the if. So if there is any of the values which are null, so we used to use the fill na function. So we are not going to use it here, but I would like to share with you. So exactly what you have to write is the data set and the column name dot fill na, and here you can again use the data set is the variable, and the column name dot mean in place equals to true, so that the mean value should be go into the empty spaces and it will be shown here. So here I am also importing plotly express as px for the plots. So here I'm using this sns.countPlot. In the variable, I'm taking this dataset, data is equals to dataset, the variable, and here in the x, I'm taking the segment, and in the here, I'm taking the regions. So here you can see in the segment, it is showing the consumer, corporate, and home office. And if you see the region, the blue indicates the south, the west indicates the orange, central green, and east red. So here you can see the count, how many is the sales you can have. Down below we can see the sales versus the category. So here how we can check sns.countPlot, and in the brackets I'm using x. X is the x-axis. Here I'm taking the sales, and here is the category where we are taking the office supplies, technology, furniture. It will come out by itself when we are taking the column name category. And data is equals to our variable is dataset, which we have stored in it. So this is how it looks like. Let's have see another one. It is sns.countPlot. X is equals to category. I'm taking it here in the x-axis, and hue subcategory means you can have the all the parameters. So in the subcategories you will have the bookcases, chair, labels, tables, storage, furnishing, arts, phones, like this. So it is reflecting here in the furniture, office supplies, technology. So it will be the long thing, but this will not be able. This chart is not for majorly used, but here I just make it to see how exactly it is look like in the subcategory. So with this data set, you can also going to play with the new things. Like if you would like to have the experiment, so because this of the experiment which help you to learn more. So if you do the experiments, you will have the knowledge that how exactly it is look like, because in the start from the business aspects you need to find out many things, because from the business side, business point of view, they would like to see from the many angles how exactly the product is working, how exactly the sales is working, what they are having the revenue, and what are the banned items which are not having the sales for too much time, or maybe there's no sale for those products. So those are different things we need to find out with our skills. So here you can see I have mentioned the code which is sns.countPlot. X is equals to category. So here I'm mentioning X category, and hue subcategory, which is bookcases, chair, table, and furnishing. So here in data, I am taking the data sets, which is like I would like to have the category, and in the category particularly I am asking for the furniture. So I am taking it category, and in the is equal to I am taking it furniture, because furniture is the thing which I would like to focused on it. So in the same case, like if I would like to have the office supplies, so I would mention here office supplies. If I would like to see the technology only, so I will mention the technology only here. So how it is look like. So here you can see again the same thing. I'm mentioning here the office supplies. which I told you above earlier. And in this, you can see the technology. Okay, so this is how you can play with the data sets. So here I would like to change this. I'm going to make the scatter plot, and here I'm talking about the profit versus sale. So how I'm going to take this, I'm taking the plt dot scatter, and in the bracket I'm taking the data set, and see, the profit is the column name, and again in the comma I'm taking the sale in the dataset variable. Okay, so here x label I'm mentioning here the profit. See, in the x is the profit, and in the y I'm taking the sales. So here I'm plt dot title profit versus sale I mentioned, and again in the last plt dot show. So here you can see the profit versus sale. So the sale is going up here, up here till here it's going, and the profit sometimes is in negative and in the positive also. So now here you would like to see the sales versus profit. Okay, so here I'm mentioning the data set again the same in the sale, because I would like to take the sale column and then the profit column. I'm mentioning here the index x label in the index. See, it is mentioned coming here. So here I would like to have the dollar in the amount. See, I'm mentioning. And the title, I'm mentioning here profit and sale over index. So the legend, you know that legend will be sales and profit. It's mentioned here. Again, now here I would like to see what exactly is the sale in the region wise. So here I'm taking the region underscore sale is a variable and is equal to data set where we have stored the data. Dot group by is the function in which we can group the columns. So here I am taking the column the region because we want to see the region and we want to see the sale of the region. So here I am mentioning the sum option function because we want to have the same sum of those columns. So once I mention this line, after that we need to print. So the region is sale. I'm taking this. So here you can see the central having this sale, east having this, south and west. All are mentioned here. Now I would like to see the monthly sales profit because earlier we have seen the total overall profit. Now I would like to have the monthly. So here what I will write, I'm taking the variable, I'm putting monthly underscore sale is the variable name where I would like to save the data where which I'm talking about. Like I'm taking the dataset dot group by, and in the same I'm taking the dataset order date. So what exactly the order date? In the order date, it's mentioned the month and the year also. So here I am taking only the month because I want to see the monthly sales and profit. So dt dot month is the function, and I'll close it. And then what exactly the columns I'm taking? Sales and profit. I'm taking sales and profit sum. So what exactly we will doing here? We are taking the monthly sale dot plot. This is the plot. Kind is the bar. We are choosing the bar, and the figure size is 10 by 6. So the title again the same. You can type anything here. I have mentioned monthly sales and profit. X label month as selected, and the Y label as selected amount in dollars. Legend is showing the sales and profit. PLT show, it will show you see the monthly sale and profit. So here the blue shows the sales and the orange shows the profit in the monthly ones. And here is the amount shown. So this is how you can do the visualization of the data set. Let's go further down and see I'm taking again the pandas as PD and import plotly.express as px. This we already have imported above, but here I have again taking it. So here what exactly we are doing, we are going to perform the time series analysis on sales and quantity column. So this time we are talking about sale and quantity. The above side we have done the sales and profit. Now we are talking about the sales and quantity. So here again the same thing we are taking the data set, which is in the data set we would like to call the order date, which is equal to pd dot date time. Okay, so date time here because we would like to sketch the date and time from it. So we are using the date and time function, and here we are calling dataset, our dataset, and in the dataset the column name is order date. So what we want to do, convert order date column to date time format. So here we are taking df is equals to dataset, the our main column, our main variable which we have taken where we have stored our data. So the data set dot set index order date. So set order date as the index for the data frame. What we are doing here, we are taking the order date in the index date. Okay. So here we are taking the sales underscore ts is the variable, and here we are taking the df which we have taken here above df, and column name is sales, and we are going to resample it ms dot sum. Resample the sales column by month and calculate also the sum for it. Again we are doing the same for the quantity. We are taking df quantity resample, and again the sum we are doing. Okay, and so now everything is stored here in the sales ts and quantity ts. Now we would like to have the chart for it. So we are using the plotly express for the time series analysis. So here I'm taking the fig is the variable name, px is the plotly express dot line, data set is our data set, the main data set, and in the x I would like to show the sales ts which we have stored here. Okay, so we want here the sales column by month, and we would like to calculate the sum also. So we are taking the x is the sales ts dot index, index means the x-axis, and y sales ts values. So here we want the values, the sum of the values. Okay, and title you can select anything. I have mentioned monthly sales time series. So the same goes with the quantity fig dot px dot bar dataset x quantity ts and y quantity ts values. Okay, so we are taking the values and the quantity. So here you can see the column which is showing the January, July, January to 15, July, like this. So it is showing the, see, you will having the, when you hover it you will have the sum of the amount. So it is showing x and y. So x is showing the November 1st of 2014, and y is showing the figure how much was the monthly sale on that month, particular month. Okay, so here it is like this. So now you can see here the monthly quantity time series. So you can see the how much the quantity sold on monthly basis. When we will hover it, we will have this. So this is because we have chosen this plotly express. So now we are going to see how exactly is the order date versus sales goes. Okay, so here again we are taking the same sales TS which we have taken earlier, but here we are using the group by because we are taking the order date versus sales. So two columns we are working on it, and we are taking the sum of them. Again we would like to have the chart for it, so we will use the px dot line because these are the lines you can see, and says ts x in the order date I'm taking, and Y sales in the x-axis, and y-axis it's showing. So the sales TS will display only the order date and the sales. Template I'm choosing the grid on, and now look, see, whenever you hover it you will have the sales and order date. You can find it. See, it is showing the order date October 2, 2016, and the sale on that day 18.4527K. So this is how it works. Again, now we are talking about different different charts and plots. Now here I would like to show the tree map with you, how we can make it by using the Plotly Express. So here we are taking the same data set which we have used earlier. The fig is equals to px dot tree map, and in that we are taking the data set, our data set which we are using earlier, and the path we what we would like to see in it. So we are using the region will be the west, east, central, and south. The segment will be like the consumer, corporate, or home office, which is the part of the segment. And state will show how many states are there. So after that, what exactly we are looking in it? We would like to have the sales from it. So look, when I hover it on the west, so it will show the complete sales for the west region. Consumer, like the same, it will show the consumer. And if I would like to see by the state wise, so I can also able to see state wise. So this is California, guys. It is Washington. So this is Arizona. This is Colorado, this is Utah, this is Nevada, and this is Idaho. Again the same in the corporate, again same goes with the east and central. So this all are, when you hover it you will have those things. So let's go on the consumer, so you will have the better view to understand. So if it is not, we can see this is West Virginia. I can click on it. So this is showing West Virginia. The sale is 673.344, and parent is the consumer. So this is related to the consumer product. This is how it works. Interesting. Now look. Now I have changed this some design for it, so it will look some better thing. So here you can see the state versus sale. So we would like to see in which state how much sale is going on, which state is perfect, which state is going good in the sales. So here you can see the California state, which is like having the good sale, and you can see the sale and state name is showing. And here you can see the New York, and after that we will have the Texas and the Washington. So this is how it's going. How we are using the code? We have used state sales. We're taking the So we are taking the variable called state underscore sale is equals to data set we are taking, and we are using the group by function here because we are working on state versus sale. So here is state, and we are taking the sale and sum because we would like to have the sum for it. We are using the sum function. So now you can see how we are going to make the template for the Plotly Express. This fig.px.bar state underscore sale, which the variable we have took x, we would like to see the state, and y would like to see the sales. Template is called Plotly Dark. This is the template name which we are using here. So this is how we can make that. Now, if we would like to separate the years from data, how we can do it? First, you need to check the order date. What exactly is the data type? Because we need to see the data type which is very important. If the data type is not same, so we cannot be able to extract the date and time. So how we are going to see? This is the option dataset dot info. When we use this, so we will have the all data, which shows what exactly the rows, okay, and what how many is the columns, the column name, and null, non-null type, and the d type. This is the data type we are talking about. So here the order date and ship date is showing the date and time. So we need to have the date and time in the date, and if we don't have the date and time in the order date and the ship date, so we cannot be able to extract that date from the date, month, or year from the order date or ship date. So if it will be like object or integer, so we must have to change it to data type. So this is how it goes, and it's showing the data types. Two are the data types: float 64 is 3, integer 64 is 3, object are 13. Okay, so here you can see how we can drop the columns, because you know that there are too many columns here which we cannot use it in our work, so we are going to drop it. This is the drop function which we can use, dataset dot drop, and in the columns we use the columns is equal to braces, we use the columns is equal to the product id. We don't want, we are using the same. Make sure you will be using the same. If it is the capital, so you will be using the capital, and if it is the small letter, you will be using the same. Okay, so customer id, postal code, customer name, raw id, order id, we don't need from the access one. So the axis one is, you know, the y-axis. In place is equals to true. We want to happen it from the dataset. So here we would like to see the dataset dot columns. So you can see those are the columns which we have mentioned here is not available in this list. See, it is not showing postal code. Yes, it's not showing. Okay. So now we can work on the same data set which we have taken the columns which we would like to play on the data set, which from where we would like to find out the other things. So we will use this data set. So here what I'm using the predictor function for I, predictor in enumerate dataset dot drop columns is equal to, I'm mentioning the columns, order id, ship date, ship mode, country we want, state, product name, quantity, and category. So here what exactly I'm doing, I'm using the plt dot figure option, sns dot count plot x, we want in the predictor in the x, and hue is the category. Again the data will be the data set. Okay, so here you can see this is the segment wise report. You can see the category furniture, office, and technology. So blue is the furniture, orange is the office supply, and green is the technology. So you can see the sale is the segment wise, and the consumer is high than the home office. Here I mention this the dates, so you can see this is not working, because when you are going to play with the data, so something like you will have some data is useful and some are the not useful, so you can ignore it. Here you can have the region wise category. You can see south, west, central, and east. So you can see office supply again, it is working very nice in sale in the west region. After that, it is very good in demand in the east region. Again, now we are going to compare it with the subcategory and the category. Sale versus category, which is not showing the good results. Again, we can see the discounts which we are offering. Here we can see the profit, but it's not like understandable and good, so we can ignore it. We can look from other aspects because this aspect is not going giving the good information. So now if you would like to separate the years from the data and year column, how you will do? Dataset order year. So order year is the variable we are taking dataset, because order here is the column we are going to create. Okay, so we want order date dot dt dot year. So previously you remember that we have used the dt dot month. Now here we are extracting the years in the order year column, so we are taking the dt dot year. So when we do it, click it, so we will have the dataset order year dot value count. So you can see in 2017 3312, 2016 2587. So these are the values you can have when you will see how much is the entries coming in the 2017, in the 2016, 15 and 14. With this feature you can take out. So now what we are going to do with the order here, we can see the order here in the X. You can have the same figure here. We are plotting it in the graphical representation. Alright guys, again you can see the order here with the region. So you can have all the commands, you can do what you want to, how you can play with the data. So in the X I'm using the order here, and in the hue region I'm choosing region. So you can play with the data. Here you can see I'm using the hue in the region, and data set, obviously we are calling, we are working for the data set name, and order here in the x-axis we are taking. Okay, so now check the profit from the category. Now we are taking the category, and we would like to see how much is the profit is coming from the category wise. So in this, what we are going to take, sns dot bar plot x in the category we are taking, and y is the profit. We are calling the profit column, and data is equals to data set, obviously estimator sum. We would like to have the sum for it, right? So here you can see the furniture, it is having this much profit, technology has the highest profit, and office supplies have the less from the technology. So now you can see which state has how much sale. You can plot it here, data set state we are using dot value count. So this value count is the option we are using since the start, because it will count all the values from the data set. So here we are choosing data set, and in the data set we are taking the column, particular column name state, and we want to see the value count. So you can see in the state California is 2001 values, California 1128, Texas same like this it's going. So the least is the Wyoming. Again, if you would like to see the top 5 from the sale, you can data you can do it dataset state dot value count, and here you can select 5. If you select 5, it will come 5. If you will select 10, it will show the top 10. If you would like to see the city, again, before you were using the state, now I'm taking the city column and the value count. So here you can see the New York City is the highest, and Los Angeles, Philadelphia, San Francisco, Seattle, like this. Now, if you would like to plot this, the discount and the category wise, you can see the category on the x-axis, and the y-axis is the discount. So we are giving the most discount in the office supplies category. That's why maybe we are having the sale for the office supplies. Okay, so now you can see the pie chart here, and in the pie chart you can have the five, one, two, three, four, five. So you will have the top 5 states with high sales. Okay, so you can see the top 10 country I took. Maybe I was working on the 10 countries top 10. So now here I'm taking 5 countries, 5 states, sorry. So this is data set, and we are taking the stat, our column name, dot value count, and 5. Okay, so 5 will show the top 5. The top 5 name will be the California, New York, Washington, Pennsylvania, Brazil and Texas. Okay, so we would like to have the figure for it. So plt.figure. This is the um, main something like option and function. You can say you're using it again and again repeatedly. So when you will do the practice, you will find it normalized for you. Okay, so plt.title, obviously this top 5 state with high sales. Okay, and the font size you can choose. plt.pie chart, we want to have the top 10 category. Here you can see this data set is we're choosing here. Autopact is equal to, we are taking 1% here and zero point 0.1 f percent. So this is the formula you can memorize, and the label we are choosing is top 10 country dot index. This one. Okay, so here you can see the percentage and the names of the states. Now you can see again here. Now what I do, I have take out this from the pie chart. So how I can do it? Like this. See, this is the rotatable labels, rotate labels, straight angle, xplot. This is the function xplot we are using. So here I took my xplot is equals to zero point 0.2 for this New York City, and the rest of this 000. If you will do change it for any one of them, so it will also explode like this. So this is how we are going to work and practice on this data set. And as you have seen that how we have worked on the data set to clean it, and after cleaning it, we have the visualization of the data from different angles, from different aspects, and we have find out many things from the data set. We have checked how much is the sale for the state wise, for the city wise, and how much is the sale for the category wise, the subcategory wise, the profit, and all those things. And also there are too many things which you can also take out, find out, so you can play with the data set in the functions, and you will remember those things also which I've mentioned you that you need to remember. This is the formula. So this is the thing you are going to, this is how you are going to work on it on the Python. And once you will have the good practice on the Python language, so you will have uh, so once you will have the good knowledge on the Python, you will you will see yourself. So once you will have the good knowledge for the Python, you will find that you will be so familiar with the data, and you will be having uh, less complexity in the data analysis, and you will find more. So when you talk about this so this is how you are going to use this, and I was recommend that you will do the practice. You will watch the session again and do the practice for this course, and whenever you will have the more you do practice, the more you will get the perfection, and this is how you can do the data analysis. And this is for now, guys. I will come back with a new video with a new thing to give you the way how you are going to. This is So that's it for the today's session, guys. I hope you will like it, and do the practice on this session. And I will come back with some other case studies so you can have the practice and you will learn more on the data analyst. Thank you. Bye bye. Please like, subscribe to my channel.